Morning, students. As you all know, in the previous lecture, I have told you about Frederick Winslow Taylor. He is considered as a father of scientific management, and he gave 4 principles also. So today we'll be talking about his some techniques which were based on the various experiments which he conducted during his career. So Taylor is generally acknowledged as the father of scientific management. In fact, management was not sudden and the new idea that sparkled in his brain only. The stage had been set by the several others also, and you cannot say that scientific management was not coined by Taylor, that the main term scientific management was not coined by Taylor. So once he posed a core question that what constitutes an honest day's work. By answering this question, we can expect maximum industrial harmony and in turn prosperity. It is very clear that scientific management has 2 dimensions, technical and philosophical. So, on the technical side, he introduced time and motion studies, scientific selection and training of workers, standardization and simplification. Whereas on philosophical side, he advocated the science of management and radical changes in labor management attitude. Then, as you can see here in the chart, various techniques of scientific management were given by him. So the first was functional foremanship. In the factory system, the foreman represents the managerial figure with whom the workers are in face-to-face contact on daily basis. Okay. In the first chapter, you have seen that the foreman is the lowest ranking manager. 3 levels are there, so he is the lowest one and the highest ranking worker. So he is the one around whom revolves the entire production planning, implementation and control. This Taylor concentrated on improving the performance of this role in the factory setup. He advocated separation of planning and execution functions. So this was extended to the lowest level of the shop floor. Okay. So he realized that not a single person could have all the qualities like knowledge, judgment, education, experience, everything. So what he did, he came up with the idea that the managerial activities should be divided into 2. That is planning and production. Planning in charge and production in charge. So let us now see the chart hierarchy which he gave. Here as you can see, the factory manager is divided into 2. Planning in charge and production in charge. Okay, so these were based on the planning and doing in the organization of the plant. And both of them, under them they have 4 foremen who were to look after the planning work and other 4 to supervise the work in the shop. Okay, so now see the first one, that is instruction card clerk. Instruction card clerk lays down the instructions according to which workers are required to perform their jobs. Then the second one, route clerk, what they do? They determine the routes, direction through which the raw materials will pass. For this, a route sheet is also prepared. Then the third one is time and cost clerk. Setting the timetable for doing different jobs as per predetermined route and time schedule is the job of time and cost clerk. Okay, then setting the time and the cost, how it has to be done and by what time it has to be done, that is decided by him. And the fourth one is disciplinarian. He maintains the proper discipline in the factory so that the production targets may be achieved, offering immediate solution to clashes and punishing the erring employees. Then under production in charge, he is the one who takes care of all the operational and production activities. Then he is also divided into 4. First one is a speed boss. What he does, he maintains the planned speed of production, investigating the causes for the delays and removing them. And the second one is gang boss. His job is to make arrangement of machines, materials, tools, etc. for the jobs. And the third one is repair boss. His job is to maintain the machines and equipments, making proper arrangements of their oiling, greasing, cleaning, repairing, and preventing the misuse of machines and equipment. And the last one is inspector, seeing that the work conforms to the standards of quality laid down by the planning department. Now, let's come to the second technique, that is standardization and simplification of work. So, what is standardization? It means setting standard for different factors after due deliberation. For example, the amount of work to be done by a worker in a day may be standardized. In other words, the worker is supposed to do the standard work every day. It does not mean only quality work, but it also refers to the setting up standard for size, type, measures, etc. Okay, so what were its objectives? Objectives were to reduce given line of product, then to establish inchargeability, to establish standards, etc. Then the next one is simplification. What is simplification of work? Simplification aims at eliminating unnecessary diversity of products. It results in saving of cost of labors, machines and tools, and also implies reduced inventories, fuller utilization of equipment, increasing turnover, etc. And what are the some objectives of simplification? It affects the economy in the use of machines and tools, bring down the cost of labor, and affect economy in the staff. Then the next one is work study. Scientific management requires deep analysis of all the activities which are being performed in the organization with the object of producing the maximum possible output with the minimum efforts. In other words, you can say that Taylor was totally against to incompetence and wanted to rid of it by whatever possible. In his efforts to do so, he conducted number of experiments and proved that while working, unnecessary movement of the body should be eliminated. Second, the parts of the production process should be reduced to the minimum. Third, the time required for doing every work should be determined. And the fourth, arrangement for resting in between the duty hours should be provided to eliminate incompetency. So, he hated inefficiency in any form. He believed that efficiency can be increased endlessly. He advocated work study to improve efficiency. So, he clarified it by stressing on four aspects, that are method study, motion study, time study, and fatigue study. So, let's start with the first one, that is fatigue study. What is fatigue study? What do you mean by fatigue? Fatigue means the one who is not willing to work. Okay. So the setting of standard tasks would be meaningless if it is not accompanied by the study of how long a person can perform the standard task without any effect on his health and efficiency. This study needs to be carried out precisely for this reason. A person is bound to feel physically or mentally tired if he keeps on working without any interruption for a long time. So he may also feel tired or exhausted if he is made to do the same kind of work all the time. So Taylor realized that the need to ensure that the performance of the task by the worker should not lead to physical or mental exhaustion. Therefore, he made it obligatory for every worker to avail a brief period of rest after continuously working for a specified number of hours. So he focused on providing them with some rest in between the work, number of rest intervals. Okay. Then the second one is method study. What is method study now? Under this, the management must make an overall study of the entire production process. Then should make some efforts to reduce the distance to be traveled by materials during the productive cycle. Okay, that means they see the method, they find out the methods for reducing the time hours. Okay. On the basis of process chart setting out the various operations may be prepared. With the help of such, the management can try to ensure that the plant is laid out in the best manner and is equipped with the best tools. Then the next one is time study. What is time study? It is concerned with the labor productivity. Under this, an estimate is made of the amount of work required to be done to perform any job. It is just an attempt to study and measure accurately the time required for performing the particular job. Then the next one and the last study is motion study. It's a study of the movements of operator in performing an operation for the purpose of eliminating useless motions. So, for conducting motion studies, workers are studied at their jobs and all their movements are noted and then analyzed and useless motions are eliminated. So, that was motion study. Then the next technique of scientific management is differential piece weight system. Taylor suggested two piece rates, one for efficient and other for inefficient. He suggested that standard quantity of production in terms of time is decided in advance. An efficient worker is paid higher piece rate and inefficient is paid lower piece rate. This difference helps to induce inefficient worker to work efficiently. So this differential piece weight system insisted on first paying different rate of wage to efficient and inefficient employees. Second, extra wages to efficient employees will motivate them to remain efficient. Third, extra wages paid to efficient employees will motivate inefficient employees. And the fourth one, different rate of payments to efficient and inefficient will automatically increase the production. For example, a standard to produce 10 units is fixed for an hour. Those who produce 10 units in a shift shall get 10 per unit, and those who produce less than 10 will get 8 per unit. X produces 8, Y produces 12. Who will get more? Obviously the Y one. Okay, so how much Y will get? 12 into 10, 120, and the X will get 64. Then the next one and the last technique is mental revolution. The scientific technique of mental revolution work on the following basis. First is change in the mental attitude of workers. Second, ruling out the feeling of suspicion. Third, cooperation between the workers and management. So Taylor insisted on the change in the mental attitude of workers towards each other. Scientific approach means radical change in the approach to the problems of job performance and managerial control. That means Taylor wanted that he should focus on the mental attitude or behavior of the workers so that they can not be absent while doing any of the work. Okay, there should not be any type of absenteeism